Hello, trading is closed on March 4th, 2019. We'll go over our calls. Look for the pattern with the early low and the late high. We got that. Typically, it's a positive day when you don't close near all-time highs. Not all-time highs. When you don't close near highs of the day. It's a negative pattern. Unless we gap and take out this high early, which I don't think is going to happen. We should see lower prices tomorrow, and that's my call. Now, we had a target of 27.98. When you gap up, the call's usually out of reach. Doesn't mean it won't print, just means I'm not predicting it, but it did print. It's also an old target from October of last year, which nailed the high almost to the penny. It's amazing how the market remembers these numbers even months later. Now, there's about 650 targets a year. In 2018, we now have 2 targets out of the 650 which didn't print, and one of them is awfully close to the all-time high, which is a part of the system. 2017, we had 3 targets that didn't print, so that's 5 targets in 2 calendar years. And the reason it's important is in the first 2 months of this year, we had 5 required and 1 optional target, which haven't printed yet. And if the past is any guide to the future, it's a matter of time until those targets at lower prices print. Doesn't mean you won't go higher first. We got a buy signal right at the low. We didn't have to go this high, but we did. It's actually a very negative pattern for other than the reasons I said. One, of course, we didn't close higher than this. The other, here is the hole in the wall gap. We usually take out this low pretty soon. Here's the close, and you'll notice all this long, strong rally could not take out any of these highs. That's negative. Now, we did say the ideal scenario for the bulls would be to gap up, and unless we drop sharply here, should continue to rally. Well, we did drop sharply, and that didn't happen. Ideal scenario for the bears was to have what happened the first 2 hours happen in the futures market. So it was the right idea, but it was off by 2 hours. I gave all the reasons why I thought this high would hold. For right now, I'm calling this a 2B top, which is a retest of this high, but at a higher level. We broke out to a new high, undercut all these highs, undercut the real low of the a bar, which was the previous high, and that gives a Trader Vic sell signal. Now, it's more convincing if we also close under that low. That didn't happen. So to convince us that this reversal marked the top, you really want to go under this low and preferably close under it. And if we trade over this high, the pattern's killed. So we have a possible end for this rally right here, right at this level. Here's our old volatility index. We went under the Bollinger Band. Now we're over it. That's sign of a top. Taking out all these prior highs at once is a sign of a top. Still have a demarked sell signal, which this time does seem to have some validity. So for tomorrow, absent trading over this high early, it's a pattern with the early low. Doesn't mean you won't gap up first, but I don't see us gapping over this high. Unless this falls, we look for lower prices. And even though I don't have something requiring this low to fall tomorrow, would make a much cleaner picture, sealing a top if we did trade under this level and preferably closed under it. And if we don't, because when you get a move like this, you expect follow through pretty quickly. If we don't, I'll reassess the situation. But for now, I think this is a good chance of marking the end of the rally that started right after Christmas. And I'll look for lower prices tomorrow, and that's today's call.